you 3 things that need to happen before you actually try to conceive. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm Denise Noyer-Erez, and I'm known as the Fertility Godmother, and I want to make it easier for you to conceive and have a healthy baby. And I'm going to share with you 3 things that are really important for you to consider doing, or actually taking action on, before you try to get pregnant. So we're going to check these boxes, and if you have it all, then it would be a great time for you to go ahead and start conceiving, start preparing to get pregnant if you haven't already. But if you've been struggling, then there might be something deeper to look at. So I'm going to start off by last week we talked about how important was the first, let me stop for a second. There's 3 things: the mind, the body, and the heart. They all need to be in alignment. Last week we spoke about the mindset, and we talked a little bit about which you focus on is going to grow. And especially now, we want to really be more mindful than ever and manage our thoughts. You are the guard of your thoughts, and you can manage your thoughts and just keep redirecting them. And we talked about how you can change your focus by changing your physiology and your language, and then what you're focusing on. And those are going to be the things that will really make an impact for you in your overall life. And especially now in the time that we're in, it's very uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty. And I know that if you've been trying to get pregnant and there's already a lot of uncertainty going on in your world, in your life, and this adds on even more. But I will talk more about that in some future videos coming up soon, so you can watch for them. If you haven't already, make sure to download my the Fertility Godmother's preconception care checklist, and that will give you a lot of information. And you can find the link in the comments section below here. So the other thing, so you can review the other video to learn more about the mindset piece. We talked about that. Then the next thing today, we're going to talk about the body and what 3 things need to be really in alignment and working for you as you're preparing to get pregnant. And again, the key is really doing these things before. So if you're uncertain, if this is an uncertain time for you to conceive, don't just stop getting your body ready. Take this time to really prepare your body and find maybe the underlying condition or that little piece that needed to be tweaked before you conceive, before you start your treatments again, before you actually start being active. And take this time to get really healthy and balanced. Don't put it on delay and go back to things that don't work for you, like a lot of women I see do when they have a failed pregnancy test. I don't want that for you. I want you to keep moving forward and stay on your path to wellness, so that when you do get pregnant, you have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. So what's really important for you is going to be 3 things to look at. One is your menstrual cycle. Do you have a regular menstrual cycle? Is it pain-free? Do you have fresh colored blood going, every month for about 3 or 4 days, no longer, no spotting in between? Do you know when you're ovulating? Those are going to be really important facts for you to know before you conceive. If your cycle is too short, then you're going to have an increased chance of miscarrying, and it's going to make it much more challenging for you to get pregnant because the egg isn't mature yet. And if your cycle is too long, and too long would be over 30 days, 31 days at the most, then you're going to have a hard time. You can also increase your chances of miscarrying because now the egg is too ripe. So those are some things to really look at and figure out how to correct. And I can absolutely help you correct your menstrual cycle and help you balance it out so that you can increase your chances of conceiving. So one, that's something you want to look at. And you might be already monitoring your menstrual cycle by taking your basal body temperature. And if you are, that's fabulous. And if you're not, then you might want to start considering doing that, because when I look at that, I'm able to see a much in-depth look at what's going on inside your body. No, it is a picture, so it's just a piece of information, but it all helps. So that's something that you can do. The second thing that you can do that's really important is continue to eat as healthy as possible. And that means making healthy choices, eliminating bad fats, eliminating your sodas if you're drinking soda, chips, a lot of cookies, a lot of sugar, decreasing all of those things. And so when you're going to the grocery store, you want to just, you're going anyway, make sure that you're choosing foods that are going to actually nourish your body and energize your body and help you feel good, because it makes a huge difference, I promise you, by just being mindful of what you're eating at least 80% of the time. It will make a big difference on your path to having a healthier baby, and a lot of other things, because if your body doesn't have to try to negate all the toxins and chemicals in the foods that you're eating and balance out the high sugars, then it can do what it needs to do and correct itself easier. So important. So you want to make sure your menstrual cycles are regular. I don't think I said what a regular menstrual cycle is. So an average menstrual cycle is between 28 to 30 days is where it should be. Not average, that's ideal. So ideal between 28 to 30 days. If it's under 26 days, there's a concern of it being way too short, and you're going to have a harder chance of conceiving. And if it's over 32 days, that's going to be also a little more challenging for you to carry the baby to term. So those are going to be some ideal, these are averages, but your ideal menstrual cycle will be 28 to 30 days. So important. And again, you shouldn't be having pain. So your menstrual cycle really gives you a clue of what's going on inside your body. The circulation, the blood flow, your overall health. It's going to give you a clue. Your body will tell you what you need to know. So look at it and listen to it. And the second thing is going to be food. You really, again, just want to reiterate how important it is for you to eat as healthy as possible. If you can't get vegetables, then you can take a vegetable supplement. If that's something you have a hard time eating, you don't have time for, it's difficult to find right now, then take a supplement. Go grab a green powder or green pills. Just be careful of the ingredients in there. Just read your ingredients to make sure that everything is safe for pregnancy. Okay, so important. The other thing, the third thing, is going to be making sure that you are on you at least the minimum required supplements that you should be on. So that would be a prenatal vitamin. You want to make sure you get a good prenatal vitamin. So you want to look for what's called a GMP stamp, good manufacturing practice, or the NSF stamp, which gives it some type of criteria that you know that it's going to be absorbed in your body, and the ingredients that it says are in there are in there. You also want to make sure that there's not a lot of fillers. So when you look at the ingredients, you want to see that it's mostly filled with either vegetables or the specific vitamins and not a ton of fillers. Very important. So you don't have to buy the most expensive vitamins, but you definitely don't want to buy the least expensive vitamins. Make sure you're actually getting what you're paying for and what you're hoping it's going to do by looking at and investing in a good quality prenatal vitamin. The other thing is vitamin D. Vitamin D is so important in your fertility. It's so important in your immune system. It's so important. I keep saying it's so important. Do you get that? It's so important. Vitamin D is gonna. It helps with your bones. It helps with your moods. It helps with your reproductive implantation, ovarian function. It's huge. So you want to make sure that you have good quality vitamin D and that you have enough of it in your body so that you can continue to do that. And that's something I think that a lot of doctors will prescribe you vitamin D, but they never check to make sure you're absorbing it. They don't check to make sure that where your levels are at, so they can adjust the dose accordingly. So it's important for you to be on top of that so that you make sure your body's in optimal health, because you want to have a baby, right? Okay, the other supplement, minimum supplement that you should be on that I hardly ever see anybody on, is a good quality fish oil. And again, you want to look for a certification, making sure that it's no mercury. Um, Sardines and anchovies are the best source for fish oil. We don't have to worry about the mercury. I know there's some brands that do tuna. as a source of fish oil, which is fine. They are supposed to pull the mercury out, but you have to really make sure that you're getting the good quality one. Invest in that. You don't want to be thinking that you're putting this nutritious product into your body and you're really putting toxins and heavy metals in. It's not going to work, and it's going to be a bigger problem down the road. So, recap. 3 things. Menstrual cycle is regular, pain-free, fresh blood, on time, and you're ovulating, you know when you're ovulating, and it's going to be between 28 and 30 days is ideal. The next thing is making sure you're eating nutritiously, lots of greens, watching the fats, cutting out all the sugars so that your body can function at its best. And the third thing is going to be making sure that you're on the basic prenatal vitamins, high quality prenatal, vitamin D, and a high quality fish oil. So important that your mind, body, and heart are in alignment when you're trying to conceive. And now may not be the perfect time for you to try to conceive based on the coronavirus concerns. And maybe it is, maybe you can make it home, but we'll talk more about that later. And next week on the tea, I will share with you about the heart. We're going to talk about the heart and what things that you can do to help get in alignment with all three, even during this time. So, here, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and download that checklist, the Fertility Godmother's Preconception Care Checklist. It'll be in the description below or in the link below. And if you need anything now or at any point, please reach out. I am always available to help you and guide you. Here's to your health, happiness, and fertility. And what time is it out here? It is 3:15. Where are you? Okay. I'm seeing if he's going to respond. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week at with tea with the Fertility Godmother. Thank you so much for joining me, and take care. Watch for my video about getting pregnant during the coronavirus. It'll be coming out this week. Bye.